Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome in to another podcast to talk about our favorite team, the Arizona Cardinals. Huge shout out to the people that are currently in the chat. We got Daniel, we got Nick, we got Juan, we got Randall, we got John, Sir Knight. What's up, y'all? Appreciate you guys for being here. Definitely do me a huge favor, smack up the like button here on your way in. Subscribe if it's your first time here. And if you're asking yourself, what the heck is Mike doing on an 8 o'clock p.m. stream? Well, I wanted to go ahead and bring my good buddy here, Ben Garcia, to kind of chop it up here to see what his thoughts are on what the hell is going on with this Arizona Cardinals offense. Of course, we had some comments here on my videos, as well as the other social media world. So I got to bring him in and kind of chop it up and see exactly what he thinks is going on. And obviously, opinions are opinions, but I really want to kind of get down to the nitty gritty and really figure out what the hell is going on with this Arizona Cardinals offense. But first things first, ladies and gentlemen, let me give a shout out here to the sponsors of the AZ Sports Fan here on YouTube. Sleeper. The NFL season is officially here, which means you now have a chance to 100 times your cash on daily fantasy football. Pick on stats for stars like Kyler Murray, Marvin Harrison Jr. by doing touchdowns, passing yards, receiving yards, fantasy points, and more for up to 100% payout on Sleeper. Get your picks right and you can win big. Use promo code AZSF. You'll get a $100 deposit match up to $100 using promo code AZSF. Everything will be in the description below. Check out Sleeper. And without further ado, let's go and bring up my guy here, Ben Garcia. What's up, buddy? How you doing, man?
Are people saying bad things about me? You're like, oh yeah, we had to bring him in. It's like what are the things you do when you get everyone around? You tell them, an intervention. You're like, oh, hey, buddy, you don't know what you're talking about. But I'm good, man. I'm excited to be here. You didn't tell me much of what's going on, and so I'm just assuming you're gonna bring like a bunch of Cardinals fans in here just to tell me I'm wrong. And you know what? I kind of welcome that, but I'm stoked to be here, man.
It's just we're just gonna surround you and just have that shame bell, that shame.
Oh,
shame.
dude,
that's all we're gonna do,
all the time. That's all I get. It's all I get. How could you be so mean to Marv? Don't you want to be his best? No, God, I've had Kevin Durant, upset at me. Kyler Murray has me blocked on every single social media platform. I looked, dude. It was funny on TikTok today because I posted that video of Marv, which again is a 1-minute segment that is supposed to go get you to watch the full show because you can't get everything in 1 minute. And I was going through TikTok and it said Marvin Harrison Jr. favorited your thing. And I was like, okay, what idiot is impersonating Marvin Harrison Jr. to be funny? I clicked on it and I was like, oh God.
Is it really him?
It really is him. It's actually, I don't know. Did you see that tweet that I put out there where I said, yeah, that's Marv. That was actually Marv.
Well, I came to your defense, and the biggest reason why is because here's the thing, man. The social media world, it's this old thing. It's like if you talk a little bit of negativity, you're not a Cardinal. I never got behind that. I mean, obviously, I've been doing my content for quite some time, and I'm kind of in with your realm, so I have no issue with what you're doing. Honestly, I love the difference of opinions. I think it's important to listen to all the different opinions out there, and that's why we got my good buddy Richie G saying, "Nah, I like you, Ben." So here we go. Got some positivity, man. Don't it ain't all bad, man. So let's
I just wanted to be clear with you because that makes me believe that people, because a lot of the times people impersonate people on TikTok. I don't know if you have, you do have a TikTok. We follow each other. I'm just never on TikTok.
Fair.
But I saw that and I almost never click on the thing because I'm like, oh, it's just someone impersonating them. But I literally in my head was like, what if it's him? And I pressed it and each video had like 100,000 views and I went, no way. And then I clicked on the video and it's collabing with the Cardinals every 5. And I'm like, good. I pissed off Marvin Harrison Jr. So now it's Marv. It's Kyler who has me blocked on all social media platforms. It's Kevin Durant. I think I'm just not in the good graces of anyone right now, which, is fine. If I'm the reason why Marv has 100 yards and 2 touchdowns on Sunday and everyone's going after me, great. I don't care. Let me have it. So yeah, man. Yeah. Anyways, I'll let you have your show back.
Well, no, as it should. I mean, here's the thing, right? I mean, this is why we're having these conversations because it's not like one of these things where this should just kind of happen out of the blue. Oh, the Cardinals offense isn't working. No, this has been happening for, since last year as well. So like, this is a good, like, I guess, segue into obviously talking about, actually, before we do that, let me know how your overall thoughts. We're obviously 2 weeks in. We're 2-0. What are your overall thoughts on what you saw in the Saints game and the Panthers game? Are you happy? Are you not happy? Just summarize and put a bow on it.
I mean, I feel like I just get in trouble all the time. The first week I tweeted out The Cardinals are 6.5-point favorites on the road in an early morning 1 p.m. game where they historically don't play very well at that point. I never thought that they were going to lose, but I told everyone man. I said to them, oh shoot, sorry, getting something right here. No, I told a bunch of people. Someone. My wife was just texting me, and I had to make sure it wasn't anything crazy. My wife's pregnant, everyone. So I had to make sure. No, but anyways, I was telling everyone when it was a 6.5-point favorite, and I was like, guys, you're on the road in a historically time zone where you don't play good at in the morning. The Saints are a good team. Like, the Saints are maybe not a good team, but they're a historically good team over the last 10 years. They've had Drew Brees. They won a Super Bowl. That's more than what we could say. It's on the road in a hostile environment. Who I talked to my guy Jameel Douglas of the Cardinal Squad show, who does the show with me. He's another guy that had played in that arena. He's like, yeah, man, it's hostile. And I got in a lot of trouble for saying I think I'd take the Saints to cover 6.5 that week. And I got in a lot of trouble. People were like, well, then put your money on it. Like, poor people don't bet, so I'm not going to do that. And then the second week, and then the Cardinals won. And I was like, yeah, this is about what it looked like. I wasn't upset. I thought they got too complacent. I thought they got too conservative. This is not a new take that I'm having on my own.
Right.
And we can get to Drew Petzing in just a second. But then in week 2, I actually felt really good after the Cardinals came out and scored that first touchdown in the second half when they just ran it. It was 27-3. I'd said to myself, I even tweeted it. I was like, oh, ball game, game's over. And that turned out to be right. It just, took longer for us to realize that was going to be right. Drew Petzing is, he might just, like when everyone says he's a buffoon, I kind of push back on that a little bit because Drew Petzing, the worst running offense he's ever had was last year, and it was the 7th ranked rushing offense. Outside of that, he usually has a top 5 rushing offense. Dumb offensive coordinators don't have that. Some of you are too young to remember Mike McCoy, who I actually don't think he's ever watched football before. He was so bad.
He was terrible.
Drew Petzing is, he's not creative, and he's got issues. He's got major issues. And if we're listing them out, who's the biggest issue? Drew Petzing, Marv, Kyler. Petzing's up here. Yeah. The offense is just not creative. There's easy ways to get Marvin Harrison Jr. the ball.
100%.
Throw him a screen pass. We did that to Larry Fitzgerald for years. We just dumped him off at the screen pass. Or what did they do a lot at Ohio State? Let's just run a jet sweep. Let's just put the ball in his hands and see what happens.
Yeah.
It's a little bit better than it was last year in terms of creative, not much. And Petzing deserves a lot of blame for that. But even more than Petzing, I think, deserves blame, Jonathan Gannon deserves blame. Gannon needs to go over to Petzing and say, what the hell are you doing? Throw the ball downfield. But I think part of that is Jonathan Gannon's a defensive coach and says, run the ball, don't turn it over, score me 20 points, I'll go win you the game. And in 2025, that just doesn't work. So the offense right now is it's like a C+, man.
Yeah,
it's like a
so
C+.
it's basically
it's
what
barely
Cliff Kingsbury used to do to Vance Joseph. I'm not touching that side of the ball. It's all you. Figure it out, and I'm going to carry the offensive side of the ball. You think that's what Jonathan Gannon's doing pretty much, right?
I think that's pretty much exactly what Gannon's doing. It's just the inverse where let me carry us on defense. And last year they did do that. Even with all the crap that they had at the pass rushing position. I went to the game in Minnesota last year where the Cardinals ended up blowing a lead and losing that game. Surprise, surprise. That hasn't happened yet, but it felt like it was going to happen in the last 2 weeks.
Yeah.
They sacked Sam Darnold 5 times with me and you at the outside linebacker position. And that's what Gannon did. They made chicken salad out of chicken, you know what?
Yeah.
And now I think it might just be a Gannon issue where Gannon says, not that Gannon is a bad play call. It's not what I'm saying.
Right.
But that he's telling Drew Petzing, be safe, be conservative, run the ball, play keep away, score 20 points a game. I'll handle the rest. I don't think they want him to do more, which might also be wrong. But that's where my thought would process going.
We'll talk a little bit more about the offensive side of the ball here in a little bit. Real quick, did you have the Cardinals winning this last game versus the Panthers?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Oh yeah. Did you when I put out there that I thought they were going to dominate them, and that was right for 3 quarters, and then that went down the drain.
Yeah.
But when people it's the Panthers, you can't pick the Cardinals to beat them. That's not a good enough reason. That's not a good enough reason.
Fair.
to pick the Panthers to beat the Cardinals. So
I was gonna
picked the
say,
Cardinals.
if you picked against them, keep doing that. Something's working. But if you
No,
did,
I picked them to win both games. I just
okay,
thought the first one would be. I thought they'd cover 6.5. I was wrong. They won by 7, so I was wrong by half a point. That's why I didn't bet.
gotcha.
And then in the second game, I thought they'd dominate the Panthers, and I was wrong. The Panthers ended up covering 5.5. So there's that.
All right. Well, let's move
Don't
over
take
to
betting advice.
exactly. I
don't know if FanDuel's a sponsor here, but I probably wouldn't use my code.
Right. We got injury information here. I do want to kind of get a glimpse of what your thoughts overall. I feel like we actually overall got pretty good news. To be real, I mean, obviously Garrett Williams going to IR is not good news. LJ Collier going to IR is not good news. But when we left Sunday, I think a lot of us thought that the worst thing was going to happen. I mean, like 3 cornerbacks were probably not going to be playing for the Cardinals for several weeks. Now, Max Melton practicing today. We also did see Will Johnson didn't practice, but he was asked several different times, different ways. Do you feel comfortable? Do you feel confident? And I don't know, it sounds, practical, but I don't know. Right now, I'm not even thinking that he's going to start. I do think that Max Melton is going to start. That's just based on my opinion. There's no inside sources or anything like that. But most likely, Denzel Burke is probably going to fill in the role, and maybe Keitrell Clark or whoever the Cardinals decide to put in there. But let me talk to you real quick about what are your overall thoughts on these injuries that kind of piled up in week 2, and how did you think Denzel Burke ended up playing?
I don't mean to say that I'm always right, but God, does it feel like I'm always right? No, I'm kidding. I felt good. Actually, I felt a lot better about the injuries than everyone else did. I didn't think anyone looked too bad. Like, I thought Garrett Williams, there was a slight fear in me that he tore his ACL again.
Same.
And like a slight fear. I don't think it was that, because I saw the play. It looked bad, but it didn't look that bad.
Yeah.
Will Johnson, it's a groin injury. I kind of figured it'd be 2 to 4 weeks. I don't think he'll play this week because I'm a doctor and I just know these things.
Fair.
I think they'll probably just wait. I think the best thing to do would be to have him skip these next 2 games, because next week they kind of have the mini bye. They play on Thursday, but then they get Friday through all the way through the next week off. So I think he's going to miss the next 2 games. That would be my guess. Max Melton, I think, is going to play.
Yeah,
I thought Max was going to be long-term IR and with a chance to come back later in the season. And I thought Garrett Williams would miss 6 weeks, and I thought Will would miss 2 to 4. But we're good. Like, Garrett Williams tells me, his injury tells me, and we just talked about this in the Cardinal Squad show, which I absolutely believe this too, is when he said with a chance to come back at the end of the year, translation, if the Cardinals are in the playoff hunt, he will come back at the end of the year. If the Cardinals are not in the playoff hunt, there's no reason to throw a guy out there who's 85% just to throw him out there. But that's how I think it is. I think the Cardinals, got super lucky.
So I originally thought when I saw that with my eyes on this last week, I always kind of felt that it was Garrett that kind of looked a little worse, because I do know that he was also carted off Max Melton, but I don't know. I was kind of, I don't know if it was just deja vu of what he went through in college as well. And then obviously that's why the Cardinals ended up.
It could have been a dead
round.
leg too for Max Melton. Like, it could have just been a bad bone bruise where he couldn't get up or whatever, man. But Garrett Williams, I think it was more, he thought he heard something and he freaked out, and like the PTSD came back from that injury, and he thought it was worse than it was, and it ended up not being. So definitely the right side of it, but the Cardinals picked a good next couple of weeks to miss cornerbacks. You're going up against Daniel Jones, Sam Darnold, Brock Purdy, and Cam Ward.
Have you seen Indiana Jones recently? This
Oh my God. If someone tries to tell me again, if I tell, you know what? Hey, I'm gonna tell you something. If I missed 100 shots in a row from 3, and I made 2 of them, and they were swish bottom of the net, just went in, and I bet you $20 that I would make the next one, would you take that bet that I would miss the next one? Because all the history says I'm probably going to miss it.
Probably.
Daniel Jones sucks until further notice. Like, let's just call it what it is. He's not good. If he puts together a full season where he's really good, and he's able to, put together a string of games where he plays really well, Daniel, I don't mean to say sucks. I say that to kind of make you laugh a little bit. He's not good, though. Like, he's not good. Yeah. They've shown he's not good. If he was good, he would have still been on the Giants, and no one would have given him that contract outside of the Giants family, whose names I forget that owns that team that gave him that contract. But No, he stinks. I mean, he's not good. Hey, remember Derek Carr last year in the Saints? Who was the Saints quarterback last year? I forget. I think it was Derek Carr. Remember Derek Carr in the Saints last year?
Mhm.
Yeah, 2-0, baby.
2-0,
yeah. No one wanted to play them. And then what happened?
Just
If I would have told you last week 1, Derek Carr wouldn't be in the league the next year, you'd say I was crazy.
Yeah.
But
that's fair. I mean,
so
I mean, we're
Indiana
2-0.
Jones.
I mean, there's some fans at the Cardinals think that you're going to go undefeated. So I mean, we're all puffing our chests out right now. So let's
we could go undefeated. I probably wouldn't make that bet, but you could go undefeated.
We'll see. Let me get to my guy Lit Group here real quick. He says, as a Cardinal fan outside of Arizona, how do I watch games every week, even if I pay for it? Also love the content. Appreciate you. Best way, I guess, what? Sunday ticket? That would be my...
I was gonna say Stream East, but that's gone now.
Well, let me give you the legal way. maybe Sunday ticket, but if you want to go ahead and get a maybe illegal, yeah, that's gone. I'm pretty sure there's got to be.
It's so fun. It's so fun being a guest on other people's shows because I could just be unhinged. This isn't my YouTube channel,
right? Huh? I feel like I need a button for you, just like a or something, like a Shane Bell or something. I'm like, damn, Ben, chill the hell out.
You and I haven't talked in a while. You hurt my feelings. I was just like, I saw Mythic on the other day. I like him. Good dude. I saw Tyler Drake, another friend of mine, on the other day. Yeah. Donnie Druin just stealing my guests now. And then I'm okay. And then I was the last one invited. But I was like, okay, fine. You know what? I'll show up.
In my defense, I go to sleep at 7 p.m. So like this is late for me. You know what I mean? This is like I got a 3-year-old. I got a 4-year-old.
You know, it is so funny that.
Go ahead.
It is so funny when you're like. You're probably wondering why I'm here. It's like, because my next guest can't do shows during the day because he has a 9-to-5 job.
Yeah. 100%.
Don't worry, I'll finish it for you.
Right, there you go. But here's also the thing, the Marvin Harrison Jr. thing, right? How do you fix the offense? That's what I really want to talk about here, right? Guys, get the Shane Bells ready. I'm just kidding. All right, let's talk about this, Ben. Talk to me. Why do you hate Marvin Harrison Jr.? Go.
Well, it started off with his dad a long time ago. No. No, I need people to understand, and I'm talking to you seriously.
Yeah.
Marvin Harrison Jr., I am not, like, when you either say someone is good or you're saying they suck. Those are the only two things the Twitterverse can take. It can't be somewhere in the middle. Marvin Harrison Jr. through, 17 games, because he missed a game last year, correct? 18 games. Through his 18 games of his career, I think, whatever. Through 18 games of his career, have we seen the special? Have you seen, is there one play, maybe the Rams' first touchdown catch? That was a pretty good catch. But outside of that, have you seen one play from Marv right away where you're like, oh, yep, right there. There's the special. I haven't seen it. And that's just the full-blown honesty in me. Do I think he's a bust? No, that's not stupid. He's not a bust. He had 900 receiving yards last year. Quentin Johnston could never for the first couple of seasons. Marvin Harrison Jr. is not a bust. But my argument has always been, and I guess I'm on an island now, because I talked to Trevor Sikkema of Pro Football Focus at the Super Bowl last year when I was covering it down in Radio Row for Ben Garcia show, my YouTube channel. And I was there and I was talking to Trevor Sikkema, and he told me Marvin Harrison Jr., the Pro Football Focus lead draft expert, was his highest ranked prospect ever. And so when you have those sort of expectations and those sort of, lofty praise, and you get picked with the 4th overall pick, I expect you to be a top 10 wide receiver. And right now, I can name 10 wide receivers on the top easily. That I'd be like, oh, yep, better than Marv right now. Marv, I worried about this when he first came in, and people told me, well, Larry Fitzgerald didn't do that. Well, his dad didn't do that. Okay, cool. There's one Larry, there's one Marvin Harrison, his father. Those guys were quiet. For every quiet wide receiver, I could name you Chad Johnson, Terrell Owens, Randy Moss. How far do you want me to go down the list before I'm blue in the face? But I think you have the rose-colored glasses on if you are telling me this is all Drew Petzing's fault. I don't believe that to be the case. I think Marv has had balls sail through his hands before. I think there's been times in the end zone where Kyler has given him a shot for a touchdown that he doesn't try as hard for as I think he could. At times he looks disengaged. He seems like the type of player that needs the fire lit for him every day, which is why I say get the ball to him quickly. Get him out in space. I do think he can still be a wide receiver 1 in the NFL.
Right.
But as of right now, I don't see a world where he's going to be Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, and that's a disappointment because you drafted a wide receiver with the 4th overall pick, where the pick after him, Joe Alt, has given up 0 sacks and 0 pressures on the season. And so I continue to tell people, how you win Super Bowls is through the offensive line, not wide receiver. I like Marv. I think he's going to be a solid player. But right now, that first round, Darius Robinson and Marvin Harrison Jr., it don't look good. Like, it doesn't look good, and that's an indictment on Monty.
Yeah, well, I agree with the whole Darius Robinson thing. I'll give you that. Darius Robinson has been a very big disappointment. But I mean, how can we call Marv with close to 900 yards and 8 touchdowns? And here's the thing, too. Like, let me ask you this real quick. Actually, let's start off with this. Do you think the criticism, and I'm not going to call it harsh. I mean, I guess everyone can label it the way they want to. But do you think that you're really focusing on him specifically? I mean, obviously we're the 4th overall pick, but because you truly wanted Joe Alt, like that's where you had your gut. That's where you planted your flag. Because hear me out. I've been there before too, right? I've been there before too, where I wanted somebody, CeeDee Lamb, but I had to tell myself, okay, well, Isaiah Simmons. All right, well, let's see. I'm happy. He's a Swiss Army knife. Let's go. But then the moment that we're not starting to see the performance that we thought we were going to do, because let's remember, Isaiah Simmons was supposed to be the Swiss Army knife, the next best thing since sliced bread, and of course, unfortunately he landed with the Cardinals. And we just couldn't do anything with it. And then so fast did I kind of shake up. But I mean, I was kind of right at the end of the day. But is that one of the main reasons why you feel like it's, because you're not saying it's all Marv, and I heard that with my own.
No, it's not. It's mostly Drew.
Yeah. Do you think that's one of the main reasons why I guess this is a big talking point for you? That because you planted your flag that I wanted Joel, this was the way to go, and because we didn't do it, anything else is a disappointment.
Well, just forget Joel. Let's say that the fan base is split on Kyler 50-50. Okay. I don't think the Cardinals are ever going to be picking 4th overall for a while because this team is too damn good. Like, forget about Joel. Forget about all those players. The Cardinals had a chance to move on from Kyler then. They had the 4th overall pick. They could have gotten Bo Nix. They could have gotten Michael Penix. Oh, wait, no. Is that the same draft? Regardless. Yeah, that is. That is the same draft. Michael Penix and Bo Nix. I thought there for a second that I was wrong. But that's right. The same draft. You could have gotten either one of those guys. And both guys, like Penix, we'll see. Bo Nix looks pretty good right now, or at least serviceable. Right. A very consistent quarterback. Let's just say that. He's already been to the playoffs through 1 year. You had the opportunity to take a franchise right tackle or potentially get a new quarterback. And I have never publicly broken up on Kyler. I'm very hard on Kyler because he makes $46 million a year. Yeah. He has never won a playoff game. He's been to the playoffs once. And everyone keeps telling me, why are you being so hard on Kyler? Because I want to win games. Like, is that so hard to do? No. I would like to win. I would stop being... Maybe you guys are okay with it. And I don't mean to pick that at you, but the general public, maybe you're okay with being a loser. I'm not. I've been watching this team my entire life, and we've sucked my entire life. I'm over that. So I'm done with the moral victories. The Cardinals had the chance to take a franchise right tackle, franchise left tackle, wherever you wanted to put him, or maybe a replacement for Kyler. I wouldn't have drafted the replacement for Kyler, just so we're being clear, but they chose the one position outside of running back that you can kind of find anywhere. Wide receivers, Ricky Pearsall was drafted late in the first round. Zay Flowers, I'm like 95% sure wasn't a first round pick. T. Higgins wasn't a first round pick. You can trade for those guys. We thought Justin Jefferson might have been available. Jamar Chase, there was a chance he could have been available. T. Higgins, we know was available. Tyreek Hill was traded a couple years ago. Like, it's not like you can't get these guys. You know what's not traded very often? Franchise tackles and franchise quarterbacks. The wide receiver position could have been found, but I was told, no, you got to take him because he's generational, and I bought into it, and I was okay with it. I didn't kill the Cardinals, but my expectation for Marvin Harrison Jr. is just different. If yours is, he's generational, 900 yards is okay, 8 touchdowns is okay. How dare you shame Marv? That's my issue. It's the moving of the goalpost. He's generational. 900 yards for a rookie isn't that bad. That pisses me off. because it goes to the point of it goes to the point of like hold your team to a higher standard. And I look at Joe Alt, who has no pressures and no sacks on the season and has a huge thing to deal with right now with Rashawn Slater gone, and he's holding it up perfectly, and he looked really good last year. Like, yes, I'm going to look at that. And I'm allowed, and I'm going to bring those up. And people will say to me, I saw some other guy who's a really nice guy, and I don't want to go after him too hard. But he was like, you're saying out loud you would rather Joe Alt right now, and you're still saying you support Marv. Yeah, I am. Yeah, I would rather have the better player right now on my team. Sorry, shoot me for that. So I digress, man. Marv is not the entire problem, but it's so lazy to just point at Petzing, because Kyler, I think, has some blame. That interception on Sunday was bad. And Marvin Harrison Jr., I think, has some blame. And you want to get deeper into that? How about the offensive line?
Yeah.
I think we missed Clayton Adams a little bit more than I thought we would have. And then same with, Drew Petzing as well. I'm not just zeroing in on Marv, but if you want to go down that conversation, let's go down that conversation, guys. Because I have a feeling I'm going to win that conversation.
Well, so I mean, not necessarily. Well, I mean, if you go Joe Alt, okay, let's say we live in that world. Well, then what do? You're trading for somebody like you're saying T. Higgins. Monty Ossenfort hasn't proved that he's doing anything like that. So what are we living in a world right there? So we got your two staple points, which is good. I mean, it's good to have those two guys, right? But at the end of the day, Monty Ossenfort built this team to where it almost kind of felt like, okay, well, this is the perfect way, whether it was Malik Neighbors or Marvin Harrison Jr. Now, I'm not going to come out here and say generational talent. At the time when we drafted him, of course, everybody was really excited. Do I think
he's the highest ranked player ever from Pro Football Focus lead draft guy? That's generational. Sorry.
Yeah, I know, but
I know you're not saying that. I know you're not saying that, but that was wildly thrown out there.
Please keep in mind that's based off somebody's opinion, though. Like that's
fair
everybody's opinion is different, right? I can be a CEO of something and saying I'm doing this and this would be something. It doesn't matter. It's just like it doesn't matter what Monty Ossenfort does. Monty Ossenfort is a human being just like us, right? He makes decisions and he misses. We're already seeing that Darius Robinson does not look that great.
Oh,
like, let's be real.
God, man. Put him on a milk carton. He's been lost.
He's lost. Yeah, 100%. But to put Marvin Harrison Jr., and here's I guess my pushback a little bit with the whole Marvin Harrison Jr. This is year two. And I agree with you. It's not the generational that we were sold, right? It wasn't. And I 110% agree with you there. But to say that he's got a little bit more to blame than a 7-year quarterback, that if you watch the film, and I'm talking about to the general public, right? There is plays to be made. There's plays to be made on the field. And I'm not going to come out here and say, oh, it's all Kyler Murray's fault. 7-year player compared to a 2-year player that in an offense, he does not flourish in. I ended up breaking down the targets, and I get it. Targets are different than drops and receptions. I get it. It's all specific, different to each. But how will we expect a wide receiver to get the numbers that everybody wants him to when the ball isn't thrown his way 11, 12 times a game? Hell, even 8, 9 times a game. How are we ever going to get to the point where that's going to happen? How can we get a Ben Garcia excited, happy, right? How can we get another person that's deeming him as a generational talent? How can we get him that numbers when we're giving him 4 freaking receptions or 5 targets a game? How? And then I'm hearing Kyler Murray come out and say, and Jonathan Gannon come out and say, well, the ball needs to go where the ball needs to go. Stop it. You drafted this guy 4th overall for a reason. If you didn't, you shouldn't have freaking drafted him. Give him the ball, whether it's a jet sweep, like you said, or start early, right? Start early, give him the ball early. And if he continues to fumble, if he continues to get the ball into his hand and it doesn't work, then we know. I just think it's just way too early. It's way too early to come out here and say, Marvin Harrison Jr., you ain't it. We should have gone this direction. Because honestly, if you ask any general manager, probably with the exception of freaking, the Giants, because he's like, I would have gone Malik Neighbors anyway. And let's be real, Malik Neighbors looks good. I'm not going to come out here and SHAT on him.
Yeah.
He looks good. He looks like a dog.
At this point, like there's no argument to be made. Like last year, I would be willing to like kind of like in the off season, like, we'll see. Neighbors gets a lot of opportunities. Neighbors is better. Ladd McConkey is better. It's not close right now. It could change. You're just gonna say Ladd McConkey's not better because he's white. He is right now. He's better. Like he's a better player than Marv. And you could say a few things of you could say Ladd McConkey, him being with Justin Herbert matters. I think Ladd McConkey's probably closer than Marv. That's probably a little too far. But Neighbors and Marv, it's not close right now. And I don't want to go too hard on Marv.
Yeah.
It's just the topic of discussion right now of why people are like, why are you holding him so high to a standard? Because I do that to all the players on this team. Yeah. And when you're the 4th overall pick, like, it kind of matters. I don't think the Cardinals are going to pick 4th overall again for the next half decade. If Kyler's not here, this team's not picking 4th overall. Do you want to know why? Because there's a lot of good talent on this team. And they'll find Jacoby Brissett and win 7 games. And they won't pick there. The Cardinals had a chance to pick anything they wanted. And they went wide receiver. And right now, it is not worth the 4th overall pick. Like, just yes or no. If a redraft was right now, would you still take Marv number 4?
If a redraft was right now, would I still take Marv?
Right now.
It would be very, very close between him and Malik. I'm gonna be real. I still do think Neighbors. I'm sorry. I'm not. No. And here's the thing: the white. It's nothing to do with color of the skin. It's kind of like
I'm just being funny. I
know. Because that's the thing too. Like with me, like a lot of people have been calling me like racist and stuff because they're like, you don't want Kyler Murray to succeed. Like I'm the same boat as you.
Dude, look at we're 2 Hispanics. They don't believe Hispanics, right?
That's the problem.
They don't believe. No,
they don't believe I am. They think I'm like,
no. That's there's no way. There's no way anyone doesn't think you're Mexican, dude. Dude, people look at me and they say you're not Mexican, and I go, what is the Ben Garcia show? Mornings, Monday, Wednesday, Friday on YouTube. Like, the Garcia didn't give it away. Listen, I might be Spaniard. I'm not Mexican. I'm Spanish, but but like me, like I could totally see people throwing the white thing at me because I definitely probably appear a little bit more white. But you, no, man, you're one of my hermanos at this point.
Well, I guess I make my ancestors proud, but no, I've been called that white kid that lives in the mom's basement. That plenty of times, and this has been going.
No, I can confirm that Mike is married. Because his wife showed up to a dinner, and I was advertised that Mike was going to be there, and it was going to be the first time I could have met Mike and shook his hand. We would have taken a photo together, and he stood me up. He stood me up in a mutual friend's birthday party, and I didn't get to see him. So, if anything, the reason why I'm so angry is just secondhand upsetness with you.
Makes sense. No, and I'm so glad we ended up, obviously chopping it up because here's at the end of the day, right? I think we're both passionate about this team. At the end of the day, we want this team to succeed. And that's one thing that people don't understand. Like, they hear criticism. Like, here's the thing. I can criticize Marv as well. I can criticize Kyler, but I still want them to win, man. I still want them to succeed because your favorite team is the Cardinals. My favorite team is the Cardinals. We want them to win. And I saw that exchange that you ended up having from Twitter. And kudos to you, man. Great job in responding the way you did because sometimes with those accounts that are out there,
I will never. If people come after me and say the craziest things, I think it's first off, I think it's hilarious. My wife doesn't think so. I think it is great that whenever I say something that my opinion matters so much to you that you have to call me. I'm like, this is literally what I've dreamed of. This is amazing. So it actually like it's the inverse thing. So yell away, but I will never go after someone mean-spirited. I will never curse at them. I have never cursed at them. I will never make fun of them in any way, intelligence, looks, anything. I will never do that. I will just say what I want to say while trying to be respectful with it. But I'm sorry, you could do your thing.
No, you should continue to do that. Let me shout out here my guy Jace, AZ Jace. He says, Mike asked if I knew what Bluey was. Can confirm he isn't in his parents' pay. Yeah, man. You'll know what Bluey is once you have.
I know what Bluey is. I'm still Hispanic. I've got 1,800 nieces and nephews.
Okay, well, there you go. You've probably seen it multiple different times then. So, let's talk about this real quick, man. What do you think we need to do to fix this, right? Let's go back on track. What do you think we need to do to fix this? I mean, we heard Petsing, we heard Kyler, and I heard Marv. To be honest with you, it's not enough for me. And the biggest reason why it's not enough for me, any of these, because it hasn't been fixed from the year that we've been hearing the same crud over and over and over again. What do you think that needs to happen to get this offense back? Now, I will give them credit. It has gotten better from week 1 to week 2. Now, week 2 to week 3, let's see if it gets better. What do you think what needs to happen?
Well, like if we're one, the offensive line has to get better. Yeah. And I think Isaiah Adams, if people watch my stuff that's on in the mornings, they will know that I've been talking about this offensive line for literal months now. I told people, hey, remember Jonah Williams? who was sold to us a year ago, and I told everyone last year, hey, that guy was a first-round pick and sucked for the Bengals, and they let him go. We're just supposed to believe he's going to be the right tackle for the Cardinals? Okay. And then he was really bad against the Bills, but then he got injured, and then he came back, and he was really bad again. The right side of the offensive line is worrisome. Someone get Kelvin Beachum in there. Like, this guy can't. He's not a starting caliber player. Like, he's just not a starting caliber player anymore. Or not anymore. He just never was.
Yeah.
The interior of the offensive line is, again, worrisome, which is why, like, Kyler Murray gets a little bit of a pass for some things, even more, a little bit more than last year, because the offensive line, I think, is actually, like, God, it is teetering between average and below average. So that needs to get fixed. And I think that will get better with time, chemistry. Like, those things will get better. They got a couple of new guys there. The other thing is, get Marv started early and often. Yeah. Start the game like you used to do with Larry Fitzgerald to get him his catch streak. Just throw the guy a bubble route and just see if he can make someone miss. And like, even if he doesn't, just catching the ball and just doing that is keeping him engaged. And also, like, this is so stupid. This is such an easy thing. This is like Madden level stuff. Take the guy from the outside, your generational type wide receiver, and move him to the slot position.
Yeah.
Like, have him run against a linebacker or a slot corner on a what's the route? The right, not a drag route. Why am I missing it?
Slant?
Crosser route. Crosser. Have him run a crosser and just get the ball in his hands. Have him run a wide receiver screen. Run a jet sweep or a reverse, double reverse or whatever. Like, get him involved somehow.
Yeah.
But I think even more than any of that stuff, more than any of this is why a lot of it lands on Drew Petzing, if not most of it.
Agree.
Here's where this comes into play. When the Cardinals get a 10-yard penalty, like if they get a holding call on first down, the drive's over. Because I can almost tell you immediately what's going to happen. They're going to run the ball up the middle.
Run.
They're going to get 3 yards, call it 2nd and 17. And then they're going to maybe do a little dump pass, see what they can get. And then it's 3rd and 12. And then they will run a draw play to make it 4th and 8. And then they concede drives way too early. I don't know what the fetish is for Drew Petzing to love to run the ball on 3rd and 15, but that either A, tells me you don't trust your quarterback, or you're too timid, you're too conservative, or Jonathan Gannon is potentially in your ear telling you, just punt it, we'll deal with it after. That can't happen. Offenses all the time get a holding penalty. Like Josh Allen, 1st and 20. The defense is probably still at a disadvantage. Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, they don't concede these downs and these possessions. That cannot happen anymore, man. And so, with that being said, the biggest thing needs to happen is just turn the aggressiveness up just a touch.
Yeah.
Throw the ball over the middle. Move the pocket for Kyler. Like, make things easier for Kyler. I said this the other day, and I got in trouble too. Surprise, surprise. I want to yell at Kyler. I don't want to yell at Drew Petzing. And I haven't had the opportunity to go after Kyler a ton because, honestly, outside of the one pick, I thought he's played pretty well. And I'm not just going to yell at him just to yell at him. That's stupid. Or he played in the confines to win. And if Jalen Hurts does that, win a Super Bowl, why can't Kyler Murray do that? But we are talking way too much about the offensive coordinator. You know what I like doing? Not talking about the offensive coordinator and just being like, and it's like a cornerback. If I'm not talking about them, it means the offense, or it means you were probably pretty good. Yeah. And so with Kyler, I have no chance. I can't talk about Kyler because Drew Petzing isn't giving him chances to throw the ball downfield, move the pocket, get the ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. immediately. Like, if they have the same game plan this weekend, they will lose. They will lose.
That's fair. Yeah. I mean, well, here's the thing. When I think you have some very, very valid points in terms of like what you need to do to fix this. Yeah, you got to get Marvin Harrison Jr. involved early, right? Screen plays, little quick outs.
I think we need to get Elijah Higgins and Tip Ryman involved. That's what would fix the offense.
I mean, we did see Elijah Higgins have a real good catch.
He's a solid backup, but it's just funny. Whenever I saw Tip Ryman was out for this last game, I just assumed Drew Petzing had a tear come out of his eye. I can't, dude. Nothing will ever be more Drew Petzing, then drawing up a third, or was it like 2nd and 8 play against the Saints game where they needed 1 first down to ice the game, to not Trey McBride, your all-pro tight end, not to James Conner, who is one of the better running backs in Cardinal history, not to Marvin Harrison Jr., your generational 4th overall talent. You threw the ball to Elijah Higgins and said, here, Elijah, make a guy miss. And at that point, I'm not blaming Elijah Higgins.
Yeah.
I'm blaming Drew Petzing for scheming up a play for your potential 3rd tight end. God, man.
What's crazy, I mean, that play was
I was
really
in a good mood.
It was very, very good. You mentioned something here in terms of, and then we're not gonna go too much longer, but I did have a question. Do you think that the lip service of this coaching staff, because I mean, obviously everything they say is they believe in Kyler, right? Because I've had the same discussion with a lot of people that come to my show as well, with the idea that if you go behind the chains, a penalty, holding, whatever the penalty is, it is usually 2 runs and a throw that's very intermediate. Maybe it's like a dump off, whatever it is. And you don't play to get the first down. That's what it feels like with the Arizona Cardinals, whether that's Drew or Kyler's decision making, whatever the situation is. I don't care. But that's usually the trend of what we're seeing. Do you think they truly don't trust Kyler? Like, do you think that they're preventing him from making a mistake and they're just kind of eating it? Because it's just weird. It's weird to me that every single time we're behind the chains, there's a pass that's a dump off pass. Every once in a while, he'll throw the ball, and maybe there's a good chunk there, here and there, but it's always 2 runs somewhere. Do you think they trust him? That's a solid question. Well, what do you think?
My brand is I don't sit on a fence, and I swing for the fences for opinions. And I'll tell you a definitive thing 99% of the time. I don't know yet if they trust Kyler. I just don't, and I don't want to say something because then I just become Skip Bayless of just saying things I don't even believe just to get a reaction. Everything I say I wholeheartedly believe, or at least it's got some thought behind it. I would say that in question, does the coaching staff trust Kyler Murray? Like, they're charged. Like, it's like they've been arrested and they're charged with not trusting Kyler Murray, but innocent till proven guilty. And I'm still working on gathering the evidence to say this charge is now an indictment. You are charged for this crime. You're going to jail. Like, I'm in that process. I don't know yet. Sometimes I think no, and sometimes I think, no, they trust him. Like, you can't talk that highly. Like Kyle Shanahan's not talking that highly about Mac Jones.
No?
Like, and so if they're lying, they're really good liars, and I'm just not there yet to be able to decide. But it is absolutely able. If you have that thought, you're not crazy. That's what I'll say.
That's fair. And that's a good way to put it. I wasn't really expecting a concrete answer because it's really hard to say it. You're not Drew Petzing. You're not, Jonathan Gannon. But the actions of what you're seeing is really, really bizarre. It's weird that how conservative this offense is, and somebody's not stepping up to saying, what the hell is going on with this freaking thing? Because I was even told by my guy Jesse from Last Second Sports, which is I'm going to have a collab with him a little later on, also from Roundtable Sports. But he said the same thing. This offense is so boring. And this is from a 49ers fan kind of, grazing here and there, looking. It's like, this is a boring offense. And he puts the blame on Petzing as well for not being creative, not getting Marvin Harrison Jr. involved. So the scapegoat, if things go awry, is most likely going to be Petzing first. And I think that's everybody most likely knows that, right? But if it's a thought in your head and it crossed, you ain't alone out there. You ain't alone because like my guy Ben said, we don't have the concrete evidence. We don't really have it because everything's been lip service. We believe in it. We love him. But just the actions of what we're seeing, the play calls is so freaking bizarre. But with that being said, I'll give you your final thoughts and we're going to be closing up shop.
Well, I think my final thought, no, I don't want to be seen as negative being a guest on someone's show.
No.
So should I just say the Cardinals are going to win and just like be positive, man? I think the Cardinals this weekend, like as of right now, it's Wednesday. It's Wednesday. Just ask me again on Friday, but I don't feel good about this game on Sunday. I think the Niners win, and I think it has to do with the cornerbacks being out and Kyle Shanahan just making those guys look awful. And so here's what I'll say. At the beginning of the season, my prediction was that this team was going to go to the NFC Conference Championship game and lose. And part of that was because
Cardinals?
Yes, the Cardinals.
Oh.
This team. Tyrann Mathieu, Carson Palmer, Chandler
Okay.
Jones is behind me. I had them going to the conference championship game because it's not because I think Kyler's amazing or he's bad. I think the Cardinals have a lot of talent. I think their schedule sucks. I think they can win this division, and the conference stinks. Who's the best quarterback in the NFC? Jaden Daniels, and he doesn't look great right now. Matthew Stafford, and he's 80. Like, it's wide open. Like, it is wide open. I still think Matthew Stafford's back injury is worse than everyone else is saying.
I agree.
One nick, he's done for the year potentially. We don't want that to happen. I want to beat guys straight up, but that could happen. It's wide open. And I still believe that could be the case. However, we keep saying, when is the offense going to be broken out? And Drew Petzing has asked that question. And still we're here wondering when the offense is going to break out. So I'm worried. I'm worried about it, but I'm going to preview the game on my channel, Ben Garcia Show, where people can find that on 7 a.m. Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. But we're going to have Grant Cohn on from the publisher from the 49ers. He's been pretty he's a loudmouth just like me, but he does it for the 49ers. He's hilarious. I'm ecstatic to have him on. So he's going to be on the show with me, and we're going to talk some Cardinals, Niners. I'm like super stoked to do that. So if people want to get more of that as well, people will see that on Saturday at 10 a.m. That's when that'll go up. So him and I'll be on, and that'll be a fun show as well. But I'm the sky is not falling. And you know what I will say is I'm very thankful that the Cardinals fan base, even being 2-0, isn't saying, well, at least we're 2-0. They're holding the team accountable, and 100%. That makes me feel like I'm doing my job a little bit. And not letting these teams be scapegoated and just allow them to get away with mediocrity because we are tired of losing. We want to win. Hold their feet to the fire. So man. Anyways, there's that.
No, well, I mean,
maybe that's why I don't have a credential this year. They just heard some of my Kyler Murray takes, and we're like, we're not giving this guy a credential.
I do believe that they are very, very picky when it comes down to those credentials. You can't say anything negative about. I mean, that's just the way the NFL is too. There's a lot of teams that it's hard to get credentialed. But
hey, I mean, to be fair, because I do Suns content too, obviously, because I do Locked On Phoenix Suns. I go after the Suns all the time. They give me credentials. Got to give them that. They take punches and they're like, hey, man, here's your free media dinner too. Like, they're good people.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Cardinals are good people too. I shouldn't say that, but did not get a credential this year. Did not get a credential. Did not get it. No, they're very good people. Very good people. I love the media over there, but no, I did not get approved this year. They're a little stingy with those, which they should be. They don't want just some random Joe Blow, that being me, walking in with a credential. So
right. Explain to me why this, right? Yeah,
I'm gonna be like, they're gonna no. What's gonna happen is, they're gonna say, "Hey, we noticed Kyler Murray blocked you on all social media platforms. Why is that?" I'm gonna say, "I don't know. We're best pals, so I don't know why that's the case, dude." It was so funny when I saw Kyler block me on Twitter. I was like, that's about right. And then I went to Instagram and I typed in K1, and it wasn't there. And then I went to TikTok and I went to type in K1. He went out of his way to block me on every social media platform.
That's pure hate. That's hate.
You know what? Good. You know what? I love Kyler because if he plays well and the Cardinals win a Super Bowl one day, like, my life gets way better. But if he needs me to be the motivation to take his game to another height, I will be the bad guy. I just want to win games. I don't care.
Yeah. I mean, that's
how about our Diamondbacks though?
Yeah.
We could do that next.
Don't even get me started on those guys.
Oh, man, dude.
All right, well, let's close up shop right here. I do got your actual channel in the description of this video, so anybody who wants to check out my guy, Ben Garcia, check him out here. In the description of this video, it will have a tag, so just click it, bam, just go to his show. And you are on TikTok, very, very active on there. Instagram too?
Everything, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, TikTok. I made it very easy for you.
Perfect.
At Ben Garcia Show. That's every single... If there's a social media platform, I am there, and it's at Ben Garcia Show. Very easy, very simple. And if you want to say something bad about my takes, do it there. So at least I can, look at it and laugh with my wife later on.
I mean, let's be real. I mean, that's what we all do. I'm just kidding. All right. Well,
also next time there's a oh, sorry, you're gonna close up. I'll say this after that.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, if you're closing up, next time you're supposed to be somewhere, you need to be there so that we can actually say hello in person. Okay?
Fair.
That was that. I would tell you what, that was a little frustrating. Me and my buddy Gilbert were just sitting there waiting for you guys to show up. So there was that.
That's fair. That's fair. All right. Well, let's close up shop with that note. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Appreciate everyone for tuning in. Do me a huge favor. Smack up the like button on your way out. Make sure you check out Ben Garcia. Everything will be in the description below. And subscribe if this is your first time here. All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for tuning in. As always, have a great rest of your day. And go Cardinals.